Bam, bam, bam. We got a revenge game on our hands. Ooh. Just kidding. Kirko loves the Vikings. We treated him well. He's got no revenge in his heart. He's going to kind of gift us the win, is what he'll say after he gets his ass beat by the Vikings.
If he gifts you the win, he's gifting Michael Penix Jr. the opportunity to take over his job. He took his job. I don't know. Right after Thanksgiving, you really want to talk about that?
He already got paid.
Money. Welcome back to another episode of the BuiBros Football Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Quinn Bowie, and I, of course, cheer for the LA Chargers. Across from me, my brother Brandon.
And I cheer for the Minnesota Vikings. Woo! Today we'll be looking forward a few days to the matchup with the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons in Minnesota. Will be good. It will be very good. Kirk's return, so yeah, it should be a good one.
Another home game. And it looks like the way your team is heading and the way the Falcons team is heading might be another consecutive home victory here for you.
Yeah, we hope
and if
so.
you are with us today, before we get into this preview, if you are a Vikings fan, a Chargers fan, or just a fan of the NFL in general, we'd appreciate a consideration to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit that notification bell. It really does help us out. Lets us know you love talking football just as much as Brandon and I do. All right, Brandon, 10-2 Minnesota Vikings, 6-6 Atlanta Falcons. What is this game going to be like?
It's going to be pretty straightforward, I think. You know, there's not going to be anything fancy going on. There's not too many weapons. There are good weapons, good, strong weapons, but there's not too many, you know? Like, we have to worry about Drake London, right? We got to worry about Bijan Robinson. And that's it. Do we have to worry about Kyle Pitts? We absolutely do not have to worry about Kyle Pitts. Do we have to worry about Ray McCloud? We absolutely do not have to worry about Ray McCloud. I think it's Ray McCloud, right?
Yeah.
He is on
Darnell Mooney?
Yeah, Darnell Mooney. We played him against when he was on the Bears for like years. The guy's a bum, dude. Number one?
Good point.
Number one?
Bum.
So, yeah, their offense, I think, you know, Kirk's had time in the pocket. I feel like he's well protected, it seems. And Bijan is unreal. He's unreal. He's going to have, 120 yards against us. It's how it's going to go. Even though we have excellent run defense, that guy's going to get his. He's going to be all over the place. He's going to be dangerous. I got him in fantasy, so I'm hoping he gets a lot, but just not that much. You know what I mean?
Just like a lot of yards.
Just a lot of yards. And then,
and
field
catches.
goal.
Yards and catches, PPR.
I wish I had coup as well. Anyways, so yeah, Cousins, he's coming back to US Bank. It'll be pretty fun. Actually, I'm excited to watch him play, in a game that matters to the Vikings. I love that guy. He's a dog. But we'll see. We'll see what it's like. Our coach knows Kirk very, very, very well. Knows all his tendencies. Knows everything about that guy because our head coach is like, he gave him his best seasons with the Vikings. These last two seasons were, right. Kirk was amazing. Before he went down with the Achilles, it was like he was playing MVP level. You know what I mean? He was playing very, very well. And so we'll see how he does. We'll see what kind of information Kevin O'Connell has been giving to Brian Flores to kind of counter, Kirk's weaknesses.
Right.
But it should be a good game. It should be a good game for our defense. And then switching over our offense, has been a little stagnant. But
100%. But Brandon, before we get into your offense a little bit, I just do want to mention, your defense is absolutely going to be playing a huge role in this. We saw last week with the Chargers and the way that you can confuse Kirk Cousins. And I think not only KOC's understanding and knowledge of who Kirk is, not only is that going to play a role, but I think, watching the film, what did the Chargers do to really confuse Kirk Cousins? 4 interceptions last week. Yeah, I know Kirk has those games sometimes, but far and few in between. And he hasn't been doing too well. Their offense only scored 6 points against the Broncos 3 weeks back before their bye. Kirk is not on his game right now. It's been that roller coaster ride. Beginning of the season, it's down here, and then you get a little bit past, and you get some offensive momentum, and then you crash down, and we're kind of at this valley right now. And can you guys capitalize on the misfortune and the woes that Kirk has to offer? I think so. I think your defense has been one of the top in the league for the entire season, and their struggles I think will also continue. Just wanted to put that out there before we jump into the O.
Yeah, okay. I was doing their offense, our offense, but it's all gooch. We'll talk about our defense because our defense is stellar. We love our defense, okay? We're still going to be missing Ivan Pace, which is unfortunate.
Are you?
On IR.
Wait, he's our IR.
Yeah, he's on IR. This will be the second week I think he's on IR, so, unfortunate. But our corners had a pretty good game last game. Stephon Gilmore got hurt. I'm not sure his status. I'm not sure, what's going on there.
That's a big one.
That is a big one, it is big. He hasn't been a lockdown like he used to be, but he's been solid. He's been solid for sure. The name is escaping me for the guy who replaced him, but he was getting bullied in the Cardinals game. Like it was like every single pass was hitting that guy. Byron Murphy Jr. looked really good as well. It was a good game for the defense this last game. And we're hoping that we can kind of keep that rolling. We'd like to see, Kirk throw 4 more interceptions, and hopefully Cam Bynum gets one of those. We haven't seen a nice Selly in a few weeks, so we'll see. But yeah, I think the main concern for our defense will be Bijan. He is fast. And without Ivan Pace, Ivan Pace kind of plays at that same intensity, the same speed, I should say, as Bijan. Bijan is everywhere, and I feel like Ivan Pace would be the guy just to disrupt, maybe not even tackle him, but just disrupt what's going on there. Yeah. The thing is that Blake Cashman has also been playing at an all-pro level. He's been amazing. He's actually getting snubbed right now for Pro Bowl votes, which kind of sucks. Yeah. It's upsetting. He's been doing really, really well, and he's not within the groups of linebackers. So that's a snub in the Viking fan eyes. So, but yeah, so it'll be a good game. There's going to be a lot of attacking over the middle. That's kind of Kirk's thing. He's going to be just kind of hitting us over the middle, or these screens, or the checkdowns, all that kind of stuff. So I don't expect too many deep balls to be hitting, even though Kirk has a good deep threat, but that's something that we know, there's tendencies. You can see Kirk has a weird thing too when he throws, and we'll watch it. When we're watching together, I'll point it out. When he's throwing and he goes to throw, he taps the ball before he throws. Or maybe, I don't know which hand he does, but he taps it and then throws. He's like,
yeah,
boom. And so when he decides to throw, it takes him that fraction of a second longer to throw. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, my guy's open. It goes, instead of going, hey, my guy's open, boom. He goes, hey, my guy's open, smack, boom. So there's a little bit of timing there. And that's something that I'm sure most coaches are pointing out, if not all coaches are pointing out to their players. But it's something that for sure, 100%, our players will be aware of this, because that's probably been a talking point.
That's his tell.
Exactly.
All
right?
in, all in.
That's when you jump. That's when you get your hands up. You know what I mean? There's an obvious tell there, and I'm sure lots of quarterbacks have that. But yeah, he definitely has that. So our defense is going to be prepared. Our defense is going to be just poised like they have been all year.
100%.
And the Kirk game, especially, there's going to be a lot of fans in the stadium, a lot of fans that have disliked Kirk for the 7 years or whatever he was with us. And so it's going to be loud in there. It's going to be one of the games, it was talked about early in the season. I think this last game wasn't so great until the end of the game. It got very, very loud in there, and there was a clear home field advantage. But I feel like the crowd will play a big part in kind of helping the defense stay on top of the offense, the Atlanta Falcons offense, that is. So it should be good from a defensive standpoint. I think that we're going to be looking good. It's going to be on the offense to kind of get the ball rolling and be that high-powered offense that we know, so that we can come out with a lead. Early in the season we were coming out 21-0. That's how we started games, and then it kind of faltered, and then they caught up a bit, but we never were in danger of losing. Whereas now it's like we're kind of it's the end of games in which we are buckling down and executing at a high level. When we need to, we are doing it and we're winning the games, but it'd be nice to get to a hot start again. And we talked about that early in the season, that the Chargers weren't doing that, but the Vikings were, and then we were, it was kind of opposite. So hopefully we can kind of get to an early lead again. That'll be fun. But our offense versus their defense. Okay. So, their defensive line is booty cheeks. Big booty cheeks. Or sorry, their defensive line. Did I say offensive line? Their defensive line.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the PFF grades right now. They have Matthew Judon. If you remember him. He's a bum. He's ranked 109th out of 114 edge rushers right now.
Ooh, that's maybe his age showing a little bit.
For sure it is. This guy's he's a gangster, man. This guy is awesome. He just has not done well from what I see on the Falcons. He's also their best edge rusher, ranked 109 of 114, because they have Lorenzo Carter ranked 113 out of 114. And I know PFF grades are they're PFF grades. But this is just showing that these guys are at the bottom of the list, or they're at least below average in respect to edge rushers as a whole. So I don't see our line having too much trouble with them. I'm sure they're going to kind of get in there. They're going to kind of disrupt some stuff, obviously. But we should be able to hold our own. Darnold has been great in the pocket. I expect him to be great again in the pocket against this defensive line. The problem will go with Jesse Bates, their safety. He's a good safety. And then A.J. Terrell. Obviously, A.J. Terrell is great, but it seems more like corners these days just have good seasons. You know what I mean? Like, right. Sauce Gardner is kind of whatever this year again, even though he was supposed to be amazing. A.J. Terrell has been very medium this season. I think the only guy is Pat Surtain has been amazing. He's been amazing and has, since he came into the league, whereas some of these other guys, these younger guys, they just have good seasons and then decent seasons and good seasons and decent seasons. This seems to be a decent season for AJ Terrell. And so we're going to capitalize on that. And hopefully JJ, he's going to be triple teamed, double teamed yet again. But he'll get his as well. This last game he had 99 yards, and it kind of came a little late, but came when it was needed, like we talked about. And so I'm excited to see what our offense can do here against these guys. We've played these guys, just an NFC team. We play these guys quite often, so it should be a little familiar. And so I expect Darnold to be playing at his high level. I think there's no picks in the last 3 weeks. Pretty sweet. You're familiar with that with Herbert, but This is awesome. This is great quarterback play from our quarterback, and it's kind of seems like this is not a get right game because we're on a 5-game win streak, but it's kind of like one of those. It's a tune-up fight. It's a tune-up game, and not to underestimate the Falcons. It just feels like, for me, the gut feeling that I get based off literally nothing. It hasn't happened yet. Is that we're going to roll this game. Like, this game's going to be absolute roll. I'm happy for that.
Put it down.
I'll put it down, okay? I'm going to say 30 for the Vikings. 30. That's a high-scoring game. 30. And then I'll go 30-10. That's what I'll go. 30-10. it'll be a big one. I think it's going to be a big game, 30-10. I should say 30-13 because they got Koo and they're going to go for more. But I'm saying 30-10. That's just what I'm going with.
Wow.
You know, what does my prediction mean? It means a lot, actually. So this is probably what's going to happen. You heard it here first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think?
30-10. 30. Wow. Okay. I'm looking at what's going on. I think that Sam Darnold, he bounces back, has another great offensive performance, but that's really led by the defense. And again, like we talked about, KOC, his influence on how Brian Flores can attack Kirk, but at the same time, looking back to see the Chargers defense, how did we confuse him? That'll provide a lot more opportunities with your offense and with the way your running game is going right now. It really is, hey, let's get the ball in JJ's hands. Let's get the ball in Jordan Addison. Let's get the ball in TJ's hands. So, 23. I don't think we're going to get to that 30. I mean, no. We're not getting to the 30. We're not getting to 30. 23. I think it is going to be closer. I think at the same time that KOC knows Kirk's tendencies, Kirk knows Brian Flores' tendencies, at least from last year and from years past playing, but the players on the team that are still consistent to his time in Minnesota. 23-17.
23-17, okay.
One score game, another heart-stopping, potentially just a heart-pausing game, but that's my prediction there. Cool. What do you think? Is Brandon crazy for thinking that it's going to be a 30-10 game, 20-point, that's almost 3 touchdown victory? Or am I more in line? 23-17. Let us know in the comments. If you are watching, we do appreciate it. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of the BuiBros Football Podcast. The Padcast. If you are a fan of the Minnesota Vikings or the LA Chargers or just the NFL in general, consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, hitting that notification bell. It really does help us out. Brandon, send us off.
Okay, everybody. Skol Vikings and also Skol Bolts, baby.
Skol Bolts. That's right. Boom.
Peace.